stand for the members of our Boy Scout Troop 61 and the procession of the veterans honored by the Patriot Guard and accompanied by Ethan Dwayne White's drum cadence.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome David Eagle, our junior senior high school interim principal.
8 years ago, the U.S. Department of Education and the History Channel created a program titled Take a Veteran to School Day. The purpose of this program is twofold. First, it is intended to thank veterans for their service to our country. Second, it is a reminder to our younger generations of the sacrifices that these men and women have made for us. Every freedom and right which we sometimes take for granted has been protected and guaranteed by these brave men and women. Salem Central School held its first assembly 8 years ago. Every year, more veterans attend this assembly. The veterans have also thanked us for the wonderful program put on by our school and the great respect shown to them by all the students here in grades K through 12. It is my pleasure to introduce a graduate of Salem Central School, James McCauley, U.S. Coast Guard, as our guest speaker today.
Good morning, Dr. Glover, Principal Eagle, Principal Varney, members of the Board of Education, faculty, students, families, friends, and guests. And good morning to all the veterans here. I'm truly humbled to be with you here today. I admire your willingness to make the sacrifices you did to serve our country. Thank you for your service. My name is Jim McCauley. I'm a retired captain in the U.S. Coast Guard. I graduated from Salem, Washington Academy in 1981 and have many fond memories of this school and this community. I'm honored to be back in Salem today for this assembly in honor of Veterans Day. This is my first opportunity to attend this event. My mom and dad have come to several of these in the past. My dad's one of the veterans here today. They've always told me how nice these events have been. And I have to say how impressed I am already. It's really moving for me, and I'm sure for other veterans here. It's great to see the entire student body and so many other people here. I know that organizing an event like this has taken great effort and commitment by a lot of people, and I thank all of you that were involved. There's a couple things that make being here today really special for me. First is being here with my mom and dad. When I was growing up, my dad marched in Salem's Memorial Day Parade with the American Legion, and my mom, my brother and sisters would walk the route, as I'm sure many of you have, from the courthouse to the Revolutionary Cemetery. Speeches were made, bugles were played, and ceremonial gun salutes were fired. Seeing my mom and dad's genuine respect for those that had sacrificed for our country helped shape my values and helped inspire my own military service. The other thing that's really special today is seeing some of the other veterans in this group that I've known since my childhood, since I was a student here at Salem. They were my teachers, principals, and coaches. They were on the Board of Education, in the fire department, in the rescue squad, and they were my family's neighbors and friends. I didn't even realize back then that some were military veterans. And I have an even greater appreciation now for not only what they contributed and sacrificed for their country, but everything they contributed to this community. So you may wonder why I'm here today as a retired Coast Guard officer. The U.S. Coast Guard is a military service which not everybody knows. And the Coast Guard has a unique position in the Department of Homeland Security. During times of war or conflict, the President can transfer the Coast Guard to the Department of the Navy. The Coast Guard has national defense missions in peacetime and in crisis as well, that include maritime operations and port operations. During my Coast Guard service, I worked with members from all the other military branches, and I'm proud of the connection that the Coast Guard has with each of those branches. This morning I just want to take a minute to speak about Veterans Day and why I think it's important to celebrate this holiday. And I'll also make a suggestion on how you might show appreciation for veterans and active duty service members. Veterans Day is for all U.S. military services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. The holiday was first established as Armistice Day and was a celebration at the end of World War I in 1918, 100 years ago today. And it was to honor all the heroes that died in that war. Over time, the name of the holiday was changed to Veterans Day, and the purpose was changed to honor all the men and women who served and are serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. I think it's important to celebrate Veterans Day here in Salem and across the United States to recognize the sacrifices that military men and women have made for us as citizens of the United States. They reported for duty, they took an oath to support and defend our Constitution. They left their homes and families to serve our country. Many veterans have served in war, including some of the veterans here today. Veterans made those sacrifices to provide the freedoms and rights that we all enjoy. Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to demonstrate, the right to vote, and the list goes on. Right now, as we gather here today, thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen are on the job around the world protecting America. Today, we should also celebrate what those men and women are doing for us, what they do for us today and every day. They're on ships, aircraft, and on the ground in foreign countries all over the world. They'll be there when we're sleeping tonight. They'll be there every Saturday, every Sunday, every holiday this year. They'll be missing their families, friends, and loved ones back home, but they'll continue to fulfill their oath and continue to protect our freedoms. And lastly, and really quite simply, showing appreciation for veterans is easy. You're doing it here today by attending this ceremony, and I know I appreciate that, and I know that these veterans up here appreciate that. You can do it by greeting a veteran and sincerely thanking them for their service. That means something too. And most importantly, you can do it today, tomorrow, and every day by not taking for granted the rights and freedoms that veterans have helped provide. Veterans help make our country the great nation it is today, and I thank you for being here to honor them today. Thank you very much.
Now it's time for the introduction of the veterans in attendance. We ask that each veteran, if possible, stand when introduced. Please remain standing through the introduction of each member of your branch of the Armed Forces. We'll start with the U.S. Marines. Tony Chacoin. Richard Pickland. Brad Curtis. Jack Keegan. Thank you. U.S. Air Force. Jim Frost. Roy Horton. Roderick Crandall. Rich Hickey. Jack Haskell. Tech Sergeant Joe O'Connor. John Pelton. Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Donaldson. Senior Master Sergeant Al Fives. He is 94 years young and served 47 years in the Air Force and Navy. Sergeant Thomas Harrison. Lieutenant Colonel Sue Megaletta. Master Sergeant Christopher Cambrolius. And Robert M. Hunter. Thank you. U.S. Navy, Kyle Kelleher. John Chief. Bert Garrity. Cap Capello. Charlie Dubine. Ron Rucker. Artie Irby. Thank you. U.S. Coast Guard, Captain Jim McCauley, Corey Nichols. Thank you. Army, Charles Perry, Michael McNeil, George Cobell, Phil Hoyt, Clarence Haskell, Nelson Bink, Gene Fifield, Greg Havens, Dave Schneider, Ed Morrison, Stephen Foster, Joseph Call, Don Lewis, Bill Eberly, Stanley Patrick, Carl Miller, Lavi McCauley, Michael Dashinoff, Jesse Mohammed, Jean Marie Crather, Mark T. Mahoney, Tim Conati, Jean Marie Crather, Al Camrier, Cole Hicklin, Brian Kosher, Francis Nichols, Corey Slater, Sean Lee Casey, Andy Irby, Leland Walrath, Paul Dupree, Meg Rod, Ron Keys, Barbara Screen, Mara Jarvis, Mike Golstein, Jonathan Shaw, Captain Jim McCauley, Corey Nichols, and Colvin Donald. Thank you, all of you. National Guard, Sam Davino. Thank you.
The members of the Cool to Be Kind Club will now read a poem and present keychains to the veterans.
Grow to Be Kind have a special poem for all the veterans that could attend and weren't able to. We live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. All thanks to our veterans and the service they gave.
Michael Zangal from the Army and David Dallard from the Army. Thank you very much.
Thank you from the Salem School community. We hope you enjoyed the video presentation from our school thanking you, the veterans, for your service to our country.
When I say the word veterans, I think of a hero and people who have served our country. Thank you for serving our country. Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and Coast Guard. Thank you guys for serving in the military.
I would like to thank my grandpa, Bob Hunter, for serving in the Korean War as a medic in the Air Force. I would just like to thank him so much because he means a lot to me, and I love him. Thank you, Grandpa.
Thank you, veterans that have served our country, dead or alive. I'm very thankful for them. I'm very grateful for everybody who fought in the war. Thank you very much. Thank you for protecting us every single year.
I'd like to thank my mom, Courtney Hale, and my stepdad, Douglas Hale, for serving in the Air Force for I don't know what war, but I love them very much, and I'm really glad that they served in a branch of the military.
I just wanted to say thank you, veterans, for helping our country and keeping it free. To talk about my grandpa, Bob Hunter, who served in the Air Force as a medic in Germany. He is my grandfather, and he is a good one. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Grandfather, for your service. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my sister Delaney for all that she's doing in the Air Force.
Thank you, Mom, for serving in the Army, and to every veteran here today.
Aunt Mary, you're grateful, and thank you for serving for the United States of America, and I love you.
Thank you, Grandpa, for being here today.
You, Grandpa, for serving in the service.
If one of their parents fought in the Air Force, they might have known my great-grandfather. He fought in the Air Force too. Thank you to my step-grandpa for serving in the Navy.
I'd like to thank my father who's in the Air Force, and I appreciate you. Thank you for serving for our country.
Thank you to my grandfather who served in the Korean War and World War II.
Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for giving us our own country and giving us the flag. Thank you.
Thank you for serving our country.
My mom's dad, he was in the Air Force. Thank you, Grandpa.
Grandpa, for serving in the military.
Thank you, Grandpa, for being in the service.
My uncle for working in the Army.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Veteran for serving our country and
veterans for serving the country. Some who've died, some who've gotten injured. Thank you for serving our country.
All veterans.
Thank you, Uncle Jason and Papa for serving in the military.
Thank you for everyone that has served, and thank you for my family for serving in the Navy.
Thank you, Grandpa, for fighting in the Vietnam War. Thank you.
Thank you for fighting for our country. I can't wait until Veterans Day. Bye.
Thank you to both my grandpas and my great-grandpa and all the veterans here today.
I would like to take a moment and thank my great-grandpa for serving in World War I. He died when I was a baby, so I don't know him that well, but I know he served in World War I. Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa, for serving in the National Guard.
Thank you, Grandpa and Uncle Matt, for serving for our country. My mom was in the Air Force, and my dad was in the Army. Thank you, Uncle Eric, for your service. We love you. We love you. Thank you for my doctor, my national for serving our country, who is here today. Thank you, veterans who have moved to serve in the military. Thank you, all the veterans, for serving our country. Thank you for serving our country. Thank you, Jared and Cobb, for serving in the military.
Dad, for everything that you do in the military and everything that you do for our country. Love you.
They protected the whole world so other people can live here. Thank you for protecting our country. Thank you, Uncle Matt and Uncle Kyle, for serving in the Navy.
I would like to thank my stepdad and my mom for serving in the Armed Forces. I would like to thank my great-grandpa for serving in the Armed Forces. He is not here with us today, but he is still in our hearts, and I love him so much. Thank you.
For fighting for our country. We love this country and we love all of you for fighting our country. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for protecting our world. You're so nice. And I hope you have a good day.
Thank you for serving for our country. Thank you for fighting in our war to save our country. Thank you, Grandpa, for serving in the war. Thank you, Grandpa, for serving in the military. Thank you, Grandpa, for serving for our country. Thank you, Grandpa Thomas and Karen, for serving our country and the Air Force. Thank you for being here today. Papa fought in the war and he's still alive and he's 70 years old and he's still alive. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you, veterans, for being brave. Thank you, veterans, for training hard. Thank you, veterans, for loving our country.
Thank you to all the folks that came today to be a part of the Veterans Day ceremony. When I think about Veterans Day, I think about a lot of our finest students who have graduated, who have gone on to give their time and their talents. Josh Sold, who's in Korea, Levi Cummings, who is in London, and Zach Cummings, who's finishing up his basic training. Thank you. And to all of you who came today, we're glad that you're here.
Thank you all veterans that took their time to come here with us. Thank you.
I would like like to take a moment to thank some of my family members who served in the Navy, the Army, and the Marines. So thank you again, veterans. Members of the class of 2023 will now present the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is located at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. On March 4, 1921, Congress approved the burial of an unidentified American soldier from World War I. The tomb sarcophagus is placed above the grave of the soldier of World War I. West of the World War I unknown are the crypts of unknowns from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Those three graves are marked with white marble slabs flush with the plaza.
Facts about the tomb of the unknown soldier. How many steps does a guard take during his walk across the tomb of the unknown and why? 21 steps. This alludes to the 21-gun salute, which is the highest honor given any military or foreign dignitary. How long does he hesitate after his about face to begin his return walk and why? 21 seconds, the same reason as the number of steps.
Why are his gloves wet? His gloves are moistened to prevent him losing his grip on the rifle. Does he carry his rifle on the same shoulder all the time? If not, why not? He carries the rifle on the same shoulder away from the tomb. After his march across the path, he executes an about face, moves the rifle to the outside shoulder. How often are the guards changed? The guards are changed every 30 minutes, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
What are the physical traits of the guard limited to? For a person to apply for guard duty at the tomb, he must be between 5'10" and 6'2" tall, and his waist size cannot exceed 30. A guard must commit 2 years of his life to guard the tomb, live in barracks under the tomb, and cannot drink any alcohol on or off duty for the rest of his life. He cannot swear in public for the rest of his life and cannot disgrace the uniform or the tomb in any way.
After 2 years, the guard is given a wreath pin that is worn on the lapel, signifying service as a guard of the tomb. There are only 400 pins presently worn. The guard must obey these rules for the rest of his life or give up the wreath pin.
The shoes are especially made of very thick soles to keep the heat and cold from the feet. There are metal plates that extend to the top of the shoe in order to make the loud click as the guard comes to a halt. There are no wrinkles, folds, or lint on the uniform. A guard dresses for duty in front of a full-length mirror. Each guard spends 5 hours a day getting his uniform ready for guard duty. The first 6 months of duty, a guard cannot talk to anyone nor watch television. All off-duty time is spent studying the notable people laid to rest in the Arlington National Cemetery. A guard must memorize who they are and where they are interred.
In 2003, as Hurricane Isabel was approaching Washington, D.C., our U.S. Senate and House of Representatives took off 2 days in anticipation of the storm. On the ABC Evening News, it was reported that because of the dangers from the hurricane, the military members assigned the duty of guarding the tomb. Unknown soldiers were given permission to suspend this duty. They were quickly declined the offer of release.
Washington sold pelting rain over the tropical storm. They said that guarding the tomb was not just an assignment, it was the highest honor that could be afforded to a service person. The tomb has been patrolled continuously 24/7 since 1930. The U.S. can be very proud of its young men and women in the service, no matter where they say. God bless America.
The senior high school band, the junior and senior high school chorus, and the members of the 6th grade chorus will now perform the ultimate patriotic sing-along. Lyrics have been provided, so you may join in the singing.
He is strength, the God
welcome Robin Sokolowski, President of the Board of Education, acknowledging the Take a Veteran to School Day program.
I'd like to start by thanking the veterans for being here today and thanking all veterans for their service and their willingness to sacrifice for a cause that's far greater than any individual person. It's also an honor to have Captain James McCauley here today. When I was a little kid here in Salem, Jimmy McCauley was a big kid. And he was one of the guys we all looked up to. Great football player, basketball player, baseball player, and one of the guys we looked up to and still do today. And it's great we can all be here today, but kind of segueing a little bit on Captain McCauley's point about acknowledging and recognizing the veterans, but then also honoring the principles that they signed up to defend. And for most of us, that's going to be carried out here in our community, within the place that we live and work. And one of our great presidents, who was also a military veteran, had spoke about an ideal, one of the principles of our society, which is where the strong are just and the weak are secure. And I think that's really relevant in any geopolitical arena, or also in any workplace or in a classroom. And thinking about, not being mean to your neighbor, thinking about standing up for the little guy. And I think that's something that's relevant for all of us. Just in finishing here, I'd like to thank our organizers. All this wouldn't be possible without them. Mrs. Kratzer, Ms. Perkins, Ms. Garapi, and Mrs. Hanson. If you could all just give them a
At this time, we would like to welcome Dr. David Glover, Superintendent of Salem Central School.
Good morning, everybody. First, again, to take on Bob's point, thank you to the organizers, to the music department, the custodial staff. This is a fantastic day, and one of the days I really look forward to and have ever since I've been here in Salem. So thank you very much for your hard work. This is probably one of the best learning and teaching days that we have outside of our regular instruction. And I truly appreciate your efforts in putting the work forward, and our veterans appreciate it. And keep up the great work. It's fantastic. Thank you. Veterans, if we were at any given time to reenact any given Army or Navy game, I'm afraid the Navy folks are going to need a little help, because there's a lot of Army guys in this group over there. Of course, the Navy guys may say it's about time it's a fair fight, but I guess when the game comes up, we will play out. Thank you for your service to our community and our nation, but today, thank you for your service to your school. Your presence here today, while it's meant to honor you, is really helping us do here at Salem Washington Academy something that we can do, and that, or can do as well as you, and that is you provide the example of what sense of community is as part of our mission of our school. We look to engender to our students that idea that we want to be able to serve not only our school community, but our community at large, and you are the personification of that. And you are here today in our school building, and they can see you when you are here. And some of you are going to speak with our kids today, and we will learn from you and your experience. That personal experience creates a personal connection, and that's something that will stay with them for a lifetime. Things that they will remember beyond some of the other things we will teach them today. You are a very important part of our education of our students here in Salem Washington Academy and throughout the district. So thank you for your continued service to your community, your school, and your nation. Students. Yes, that's worth a clap, absolutely. Students, during the program today, that we had a little bit of a kind of fact share about the tomb of the unknown soldier, those who have died, and we don't know who they are, but we honor them for their service and their sacrifice for the country. Today, for Veterans Day, is a recognition of the living, and it's important that we recognize who have sacrificed their lives for us, but today we have them here. We have veterans here, we have them living here, and they are here today for you, because you've honored them in the recognition for their service, but today they're going to continue their service and to be able to teach you. Take advantage of this opportunity. Some of this, sure, will be learning about life in the military. Some of this will be about their experiences, but there's life experiences that go beyond that, because the learning that happens when you learn and grow through the experiences these men and women have gone through is something that is going to be extremely valuable to you, not only here in school, but in your adult years and in years to come. You've honored them with your behavior today. It was fantastic. Thank you again, veterans, for your service. Students, thank you for your attention, and faculty and organizers for your service. It's a great day at Washington Academy, and we hope that the rest of it continues just as well as today. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this time, we ask everybody to please stand. And we ask you to remain standing as our veterans exit. They will be accompanied by